Hello everybody! I thought I would try out this format that is like talking on top of drawing video because it's something that I've been watching lately and enjoying a lot, and also I draw all the time, so here we go. I realize I really should introduce myself more often, so hi, my name is Inger, I live in Japan and I am in a band. I wanted to make my first art talkie video thingy about a question which I get asked quite a lot, which is how can I start a band in Japan? But before I attempt to do that, I feel I have to correct a little thing that people often think about me, probably because I don't introduce myself properly, which is that I came to Japan to start a band and to be a musician. I first came to Japan to study Japanese. I was studying at the University of Oslo, and the second year there is a compulsory 6-month stay in Japan. So we got to choose between a few universities in Japan, and my friends and I chose the one that was supposedly closest to Tokyo because we wanted to party. And I guess it probably was the closest one to Tokyo, but that was still at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half away by train. So what I'm saying is it was the sticks. It was the countryside. I actually had like a mini culture shock when I first got there because I could not imagine that there were still places this country in a land like Japan that I thought was gonna be like super modern. Anyway, at the time we were a group of not that many foreigners, so we stuck out quite a bit, for better and for worse. And one day, as my friends and I were strolling along at the campus, this girl comes up to us and she asks us if we want to come see her band play, because they would be playing at in a nearby town, and of course we want to go. Luckily, 2 of my buddies were pretty good at Japanese already because I really was not. But this was kind of the beginning of the end of that, beginning of changing it, because I finally started to make some friends. I became friends with some of the band members of that band, which really helped me get my Japanese going as well. So one night some of the guys from the band came to karaoke with us and they heard me sing an Offspring song and really wanted me to do a cover band with them for the school festival. Now this wasn't my first time being in a band. I've always loved music, I've loved to sing, and I love to write lyrics and all that, and I was in a teeny tiny little punk band in Norway, nothing serious and not something that I had ever planned on doing again at this point. Why? Because I really hated performing. I would get so nervous that I actually felt like I was going to puke. I think about every time that we had a show, and the only time I ever tried to be cool on stage, I kicked the mic stand and hit my friend in the face. And I still feel bad about that. But I did let them convince me. We did The Offspring, we did AFI, we did a pop ghost punk version of Heaven is a Place on Earth for whatever reason, and we did Given Up by Linkin Park, which I did with my back turned to the audience on the screaming parts because I was nervous about how I looked. And we all had so much fun that we decided we wanted to make a real band out of it, and we wanted to make our own songs and stuff. My stage fright was not gone, but obviously a lot better. We started reaching out to places where we could play. We even recorded the CD at the university, and a lot of things happened, good things, bad things. The members of the band changed a lot through the years when we were establishing ourselves. We got more and more serious, which was not the plan in the beginning, but it just kind of happened. And the only thing that actually never changed was the name of the band, which was the same name we'd made for the cover band way back in the day. I mean, there have been a few different stories told about how that name came to be, but this is the actual truth. which for some reason nobody ever tells. I guess it's just not cool enough to be canon. And to make things clear while also being a little vague, this is not the band that I'm in right now. My band right now is called Number Zero. I am talking about the first band that I was in when I first came to Japan that got me started on the whole thing, and that I was in for a few years, and then I quit 2 years ago. And I will not name them, mostly because I'm still a little scared of them, but it's pretty easy to find out if you are interested. But there it is. This is the story of how I ended up in a band in Japan. And as you can see, it really just kind of happened. But that doesn't mean that I don't have a few tips on how you can actively start a band in Japan. And I do want to make a video about that, but I think this maybe is a little bit long, so I'm not gonna tack it on at the end, because probably that one will be longer. Probably, I think so. So look out for that. I will probably make it in the same style as this, because this was so much chiller than to like actually have to film my face and make sure that I don't look like a troll. If you do want to see my face though, you can check out my Yokai Watch video that should be out now, where I just sit down and nerd about the children's anime for way too long. And also my face gross and sweaty after a show is in the beginning of this video, in case you were just listening and not watching, just so you know. But like more than any of those things, I would really recommend and ask that you please watch my band's music videos. We are called the Number Zero, and the band's channel, and of course the videos will be linked in the description. You can also find our music on iTunes, on Spotify. We have profiles on Instagram and on Twitter and Facebook and everything, and all of those links will of course also be in the description. Wink wink. Feel free to give me ideas for videos or tips to improve, or ask me stuff or anything, and please give the video a like if you enjoyed it at least one little bit, and I'll see you later. Bye.